Hello, my name is Summer Grove, and today I will be going over Sycamore Shadows, our little utopia in the heart of Maryland. Sycamore Shadows is a farm located in Walkersville, Maryland, and it just so happens to be my house. In 1 year, we are going to hopefully expand into something much more grandiose, as it were. And in 10 years, even more so. And that's what we're going to go over today. So, won't you come along with me? So, Sycamore Shadows, again, as I mentioned, is in Walkersville, which is really accessible to a lot of places in Frederick. And Frederick is actually a place where a lot of people are looking to, disconnect from the stressors of the outside world, like social media and what's, going on today. And this is a picture of my mom on a horse. That horse is named Revere. He was actually supposed to be my horse until he was just too spirited for me, and I am too much of a wimp to actually ride anymore. I used to compete, but those were back when I was about 13. So, Sycamore Shadows has been in a family for years, my family, and is already paid for in full. This is an aspect of our utopia that I'm going to go over today where it is very doable, and why not include what it could actually look like this year and in 10 years. So this is sort of a diagram, a little graph, as it were, of what we would like in 1 year and what we would like in 10 years. And then this picture up here on the right is an overview of what our farm looked like when the Monocacy River, which is that brown strip there, flooded. It's actually supposed to be within those trees, and it is not in that picture. So, on our farm, we would go into a more mission-oriented aspect. So our riding lessons and therapy horse riding go into a more, outreach-oriented facility. This is going to be a place where people can come of any demographic, old, young, any tax bracket, any race or culture or ethnicity, and they would be able to get some therapy from riding horses. There's actually a lot of research going into therapy riding and how kids who are very nonverbal get on a horse and they're using muscle groups they haven't used in years, and it's really awesome to see. We grow food like beans and asparagus and fruit trees. We grew some tomatoes and squash this year as well, and that would go into a food bank, which I will mention later. This teaches people how to grow food, and what we have left we will give to homeless and people with large families. And in this area there are people with large families that we know personally who need all the help they can get. Our venue would be rented out for people to come and visit into this utopia, and we would again get into this food bank idea where people come and they aggregate our farm as well as our volunteers, who I will show in a moment, and we would have this weekend getaway on our lodge side here. And my dad is really interested in giving camping lessons, especially to young kids. He already loves doing that, and so that'll be a really easy shift for us. And our farmhouse motel, that is, again, leaning into the whole go and stay away at a utopia. And while devices that connect to the internet are not, prohibited, obviously people need lives, but they are discouraged. Here is a picture, here are a couple pictures actually of the top one is my grandparents on a horse with my mom leading the horse, and then on the bottom is my mom walking alongside my niece and my other niece on the left. So here is just a very brief overview of what we would go into should we have the means. Birthday parties, because our farm is expansive, it is 9 acres, it would be a bit hard to have birthday parties so like in general, and so they would be a bit pricey. Beginner instructional courses are $500 and intermediate are $600. To lease a horse, it would be $250 a month, and this is only for experts. And then one-off beginner, intermediate, and advanced class, which are $75. So all of these I'm only mentioning because I just really like the idea of it being an actually doable thing that we can start within the year. For farm services, we have, again, this idea of riding lessons, which we touched on a moment ago, and how you are more than welcome to come and have a day with the horses as long as you are willing to either pay the fee or help work on the farm to cover the expenses, and that would go into the agriculture and planting of seeds and roots and things that we can put in the food bank later. So this here, another set of pictures that are straight from the farm. And just a brief overview, this is our farmers market, and reduced price or actually no price for people in dire need for the squash, zucchini, etc. that we would grow on the farm. These are just a couple more sources of income that could happen since we are a nonprofit. The field trips are no cost because we want to really show this side of our utopia and to educate students on the farm. One important thing to acknowledge is that we don't want this to turn into a sort of Animal Farm situation where any group of people is more respected or, in more power than another. And so one thing that we would really harp on in this is that volunteers are here to help and aid and educate, not to, hold power over someone else. We are all equal here. As long as everyone is respectful, that is the way it will go. And this whole idea really is from, we were brainstorming what can we model this farm after, and we all just really liked the idea of the garden at the beginning of a movie called Metropolis. At the very beginning of the film, there is this beautiful garden that we just really like, and it's awesome that we can have this sort of escape that we can offer to people in need. Here are the people helping the people in need. These are the volunteers. Actually, this is my family. You might be able to spot me, little I Spy in there, Where's Waldo type thing. And these people would just be helping with general needs on the farm, with lessons and fruits and vegetables and picking and all the good stuff. And again, this is just a passion project that we really hope can come into fruition within the next year, and then hopefully within the next 10 years we'll have something that looks like this. This is our sample week of events, and I'm not going to go into each one, but I just wanted to give a visual. And if you wanted to pause and read just how we got to these, you are more than welcome to. I'm going to briefly touch on them because this doesn't lean too far into the utopia side, and so, but I thought it was important to mention because, again, it's very doable. So, in conclusion, where do we want to be in 10 years now that we get to understand exactly what we're going for? We would like to raise awareness in our utopia that the way of living we have been taught in this Western society does not need to be this way. It can be much simpler. You can have a day where you can go out and just be. You can have a day where you don't have to work as much, or you have to work in a more fulfilling way. I mean, how many of us go into work and feel like we do nothing to advance our society? But if you were to come into our utopia and just relax and do physical labor instead of sitting at a desk all day, you could really feel like you're making an impact, because you will be. Because you will be helping people in need with therapeutic writing lessons and giving food to the homeless and needy and with large families. And so this is our plea to you. And so again, the laws are be respectful, be kind, and the laws of Maryland and the Constitution, and it's an extension of the US government that we're not going to harp upon, because really what it comes down to here is be kind. And so at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's really simple. So thank you for coming and listening to Sycamore Shadows, our utopia here in Walkersville, Maryland, and I hope to see you here sometime. Bye.